Hey everybody, so I'm back finally to do my week 29 pregnancy vlog. I'm 29 weeks and 3 days today. Oh, it's been a busy weekend and I've been just exhausted, and then my husband had knee surgery on Thursday and I had a doctor's appointment coming up on Tuesday, so I figured I might as well just wait and do it Tuesday so I have plenty to update you guys on. So yeah, I apologize about this being late, but I'm here now, so I guess that's all that really matters. Let's see. I'll talk about, how the week went and the weekend and everything in a little bit, but for now, just start out with symptoms like normal. My back pain. I've been off work since Wednesday of last week, so I've noticed that my back pain is actually getting a little bit better. I think that it was just, me standing too much and being on my feet too often was just really contributing to the, my sharp stabbing pains I was having in my sciatica, and then just the, the dull achy soreness that I was having in the lower lumbar area. So it's not, it's not gone completely, definitely not, but, I still feel a little bit of, pain back there, but for the most part, it is much better than it was, so that's really good. My heartburn this week is better, but it's definitely not gone. It still is an everyday thing, but it's not an all-day thing. I switched up what I was taking for, to control it. My doctor wouldn't prescribe me any sort of like a prescription or anything like that. He said unless I have severe acid reflux, he doesn't feel like, there's any real reason to take anything stronger than just something over the counter. So he told me to take the Tums dual action tablets, capsule thingies, whatever they're called, little chewable things. And those have been helping. So I pretty much really only notice it the most like at night when I'm about to, when I lay down to go to sleep. I think it's just me being in, flat. It's just the when everything kind of starts to come up. I always feel the heartburn, but that's the one, I actually feel like it's going to come up at like acid reflux, sort of like fire in my mouth, basically. During the day, it's kind of just there. It just kind of rests like in here. It feels like a burning little patch that I have in my throat. So, but that's at least tolerable. And I also kind of tried to decrease what, I think was causing some of the heartburn, which would be more like the spicy foods that I was eating last week. So I think maybe that helped a little bit as well. I mentioned, I think it was last vlog or the vlog before that, my nipples started to leak a little bit of colostrum or ooze or whatever when I had that tingling feeling. And anytime I would put pressure on my nipples, there would come a little bit of clear fluid would come out. But it wasn't, I mentioned it wasn't enough that, would show up on my shirt. But this week, I noticed that it is, when I take because I always wear little camisoles underneath my shirts, you can see here, I could see the a dry crusty patch where, my nipples would be. So they're obviously leaking enough to get on my shirt now. And then also when I would put any pressure on my nipples, I would not only get clear stuff, I would get a little bit of like a colored, like a creamier consistency. So, oh, my phone's ringing and I don't know who you are, so I'm not going to answer. Let me see. What else? I made a list, but I think I forgot stuff. Oh, breakouts definitely coming back. I had a few in the first trimester, nothing too crazy or severe. And again, this week it's not too crazy or severe, but I had a couple just in the hormonal area. One kind of close to my lip and then one on the side over here. And then just, my skin in general just isn't feeling so fabulous. So I think it's time for me to maybe look into a facial or get a little bit of a stronger exfoliant for my skin to maybe help again like I did last time. I was using the God, my brain is not working today. I was using this St. Ives apricot scrub in my first trimester, and that really helped. So I think I need to go buy another tube of that to help with my breakouts and just help keep my skin soft and all of that good stuff. What else? Oh, super gassy and constipated this week. I don't know what it's caused from. I don't really understand it, but it's not pleasant and I'm not liking it. And my husband he thinks it's funny, but I think it's embarrassing, so whatever. Yeah, so that's not good. I'm hoping that if I increase my fiber intake a little bit, so I'm hoping that will, will take care of the constipation, because I really don't want to have to take any stool softeners or anything like that if I don't have to. My uncomfortable pains while rolling over at night actually seem to be better this week. So I don't know. I was just assuming they were just going to stay the way they were or get worse. But actually they, I think maybe it's because she switched positions. I think I mentioned that in my last week vlog. I got to start going back and watching my vlog so I know what I talked about last week. Let's see. Yeah. I think it's because she switched sides. She was on my left, now she's more on my right. I think maybe that has something to do with the fact that my pains are not so intense. I'm not really sure. But I'm not complaining because those weren't very much fun. And my last symptom for the week is I've definitely noticed that I have been peeing a lot more. It started, to slow down for months there. Gosh, 2 months it really wasn't too bad, and now it seems like it's just escalated again, to the point where it's every 45 minutes to an hour, and every night it's 2 to 3 times, when it was just once, during the night, and then every 2 hours during the day. So yeah, that's just lovely. But I guess things could be worse, whatever. Let's see. I guess I'll review my doctor's appointment. Everything went really, really good. He is just an awesome doctor. He's so funny. And I think according to his scale, I gained 7 pounds, but I came from my mom's house, and normally I don't wear, heavy jeans and a sweater and tennis shoes to my doctor's appointment because I want it to be as close to my true weight as possible. I normally just wear a thin pair of leggings and a thin t-shirt or something like that. And I just, take my shoes off. But this time I just jumped on the scale real quick. I didn't really care. And I think it had, definitely made a difference. Because at home, I'm, weighing myself, but I'm not really taking it into factor. I'm kind of just going by what my doctor says now, because it's just too confusing there for a while. But I was only getting, maybe a 4.5 or 5 pound gain. So I think the pants and the tennis shoes and everything kind of definitely threw off the scale a couple pounds. But I'm not really worried about it. He's not worried about it, so it's not a big deal. And I think it would be more of a big deal if, I didn't pass my gestational diabetes test and my blood pressure was high or anything like that. But my blood pressure is great. It was, hold on, I actually have my little doctor's appointment paper here. It was 131/74, and that's actually only 1 point away from what it was at my last appointment 4 weeks ago. So my blood pressure's been staying absolutely great, the same perfect range for him, so he's very happy about that. Let's see. My fundal height measured at 31 weeks, so I'm measuring 2 weeks ahead according to him, which is weird because I really don't feel that big, I guess. I don't know. It's some days I feel like I'm huge and swollen and nothing fits and I'm uncomfortable and all that stuff. And then some days I feel like she's changed positions, or my stomach feels smaller in a way, or maybe it's just the fact that I'm getting used to it being here. It's just become part of my daily thing. So it's not really a bothersome thing. It doesn't feel like it's, in the way, but I guess it depends on the day too. So I was kind of shocked by that. He said that that's fine. If I were to be measuring anything more than 31 weeks, then they'd want to do an ultrasound just to check the size of the baby. But he says as of right now, you could go anywhere 2 weeks behind, 2 weeks ahead, and still be in a healthy range. So he's not worried about it. And I was kind of hoping I'd be measuring a little bit further because I kind of want to know how big she is in there and what her weight estimation is at this point. So maybe next time. I have another appointment in 4 weeks, and then I go after that appointment. Then I'll start my every 2-week visit for, I think, until I hit 37 weeks or 36 weeks, he said. Yeah, so I'll have 2-week visits, and then I'll go every week. So that's exciting. That means it's just getting closer and closer and closer. Okay, so now I'll talk about the week. My last day of work was the 16th, last Wednesday. It's bittersweet for me. I'm excited that, you know, I get to spend the holidays, you know, not worrying about work and not having to stress about driving back and forth, and I get to just spend it with my family. And I you know, number one thing, I let my hands rest so that I don't develop any sort of severe carpal tunnel syndrome, and I actually have to have surgery once the baby comes, because that's definitely not something I want to do. And my hands actually are already feeling a lot of relief just not having to use them all the time. But let's see. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to go crazy. I have all these projects that I want to do, but I just don't have the motivation to do them right now. I'm hoping, I went through a little nesting phase, and then I kind of slowed down, so I'm hoping that it picks back up, and then I want to get a whole bunch of stuff done, because I have a ton of things I want to do. And, you know, my organizational videos, I need to work on those. I have a list of, you know, 5 or 6 areas in the house that I want to do. So I think that, I mean, it's going to be good. I just hope I can get some motivation and get some energy to do them. Like I mentioned in the beginning, the reason why my weekend was so crazy is my husband had his knee surgery on the 17th. And he's doing good. He just is super sore and swollen, and he can't really walk around too well. So I've been, you know, waiting on him pretty much hand and foot, and helping him, you know, get up and change his clothes, and I'm making dinner, which, I mean, is fine. That's just normal stuff anyway. But it's just kind of accelerated a bit. So that's kind of why my week has been so crazy. But yeah, he is 5 days out today, and he goes for his post-op on Monday. So hopefully, you know, everything will be cleared up and he'll be good to go, and this will definitely alleviate some of his pain. What else this week? Other than Thanksgiving coming up, I have to, what am I doing? My mom asked me to make a green bean casserole, but that's pretty much it coming up for this week. If you haven't already seen my little sneak peek of my maternity photos, I posted that a couple days back. So go watch that video. My photographer should have the rest of my photos hopefully by the end of this week. Maybe next week due to Thanksgiving. She might be a little bit tied up with family. But I'm hoping to get the rest of them pretty soon. She's just going to put them all on a CD for me. A little bit itchy belly. I forgot to mention that in my symptoms. I knew there would be a few things. Not all the time, not crazy or anything, because I've been putting my lotion on, but, you know, I do get itchy spots here and there that kind of just, all of a sudden I just have to scratch them. I think that's pretty much it for this week. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the belly in this video instead of doing another whole video, and I'll do my measurement and everything, and then we'll be done. So I'll go ahead and show you the belly. Move my chair out of the way. Bring you down. Adjust everything. There we go. Yeah, today I feel quite large. Oh, sorry about the sun glare, everyone. She's all in there now. I feel a lot of pressure on this side. Their body's on this side, I'm pretty sure. And then I'm pretty sure she's still head down, because I feel a lot of movement up top here. Other side. Oh, I know, I already showed you that side. I'll show you with the shirt up. Yep. Other side. Oh, measurement. I guess I'll do it with my shirt down. Let's see what I'm measuring at today. I think last week I was 50.5. So we'll see now. We'll see where I'm at. That's centered in the back there, yeah. We are right at 51. So I'm measuring right at 51, so another ½ an inch this week. So still in the growing path, and yeah, so I will talk to everybody next week, and I hope you guys all have a fabulous Thanksgiving and enjoy every minute with your families. Talk to you soon. Bye.